Hi folks, John Cordisco back again. Well, the tournament we've all been waiting for, especially me. The Candidates Final 2016 playing in Moscow, Russia. Two Americans are in it, and I'll tell you, I'm pretty excited. I haven't seen an American in the World Championship since 1972 when I was a young boy. But anyway, this game is between two former world champions. As white, Vishy Anand, 5 times world champion, and as black, Veselin Topalov, former world champion. Veselin's from Bulgaria, Fishy's from India. Let's get to it. It's going to be real pay Berlin, but it's not your normal, incredibly dry Berlins. We'll go through the opening here. Castles, C3, castles. Knight comes out. Now, according to the computer, that's the last book move. I don't buy it, but Knight D7, I like that a lot. Bring that over the king side. D4, pawn takes, bishop comes back. Small advantage for white, big deal. He's got a nice center. I think black's okay. Rook E1, bishop G4. That's a really annoying pin, but that knight's guarding it. We can move the queen, one of the two. H3, bishop goes back, A4. Now, what do you do? Here's round one. It's the Candidates Final. Vishy won it last year to get in the World Championship. Put up a lot more of a struggle against Magnus the second time. This is probably Topalov / Han at the World Championship ever. What do you do? What do you do? Do you go for it? Do you take it easy in beginning rounds? It's a tough call. A6, bishop F1, rook E8. Now, I do want to mention this. The sponsors of the tournament, I forget their name, blacked out basically all these games to all the chess sites, i.e. ChessBase, so you could watch it. Chess24, a lot of them put it on YouTube with a commentary. These guys decided that no, none at all. Nobody's getting anything. Absolutely ridiculous. I think it ended up on ChessBase 3 or 4 hours after the end of the last game. If they want to have a delay for security reasons, I can understand that. The Women's World Championship was, I believe, a half an hour. I think it's just ludicrous that they had to wait all this time. Oh well. Leave it to FIDE or any of their sponsors to screw up a one-car funeral. That's just the way it is. Enough of my rantings. A5. Bishop goes back. Queen goes to B3. Just to get out of that really annoying pin. Knight C6. D5. White's got some pretty good space there. Not as good, if those of you that are wondering, was queen takes. Then after knight takes, bishop takes, D5. Pretty awkward there for the white queen. Gives it a tiny advantage on the computer for black, about a half a point. But after D5, knight D4, knight takes, the bishop takes, queen takes the pawn. Now, oddly enough, looking at the computer here, it's running. Queen takes B7 is one of the top 3 moves. Rook A4, which I find very interesting. And a close second is queen to B4. But Vishy decided, I'm going to take the pawn. He offers it to me, I'm going to take it. Did a little calculating, decided he can get away with it. Knight goes to D7. And then knight C4. If rook had gone to A4 in that instance, the scenario goes bishop, rook C4, queen F6, rook takes, knight takes, queen takes, rook A to C8. And they've got an even game. Basically what it comes down to is white has a bishop and 2 pawns against the rook. Topalov goes knight C5, hitting the queen. The queen goes to C6. Now, technically right now, the queen has no squares to go to. But how can black attack it? Knight B3. Rook to B1. Knight takes. Rook takes. Now, they're just a little bit coarser the last few moves. I think white has done very well. I like his position a lot. He's up a pawn, but that's not why. But it's a lot easier to play. I don't know what that bishop on h5 is doing for black. Not much right now. Right now I like white. Rook to b8 for Topalov. Bishop says, okay, I'll grab the pawn. Not a problem. Now he's got it past a pawn. Queen to h4. And this is where I think Topalov starts to slowly slip away. f5 seems interesting. Just open it up a little bit. Rook to c2. Rook takes c4. Knight to e3. Now it looks fairly scary for white, but it's not at all. Not even close. What's black going to do here? g6 maybe, bishop c5, bishop g6. Decides to go queen to d8. And now the points are piling up for Vichy. It's a 2-point advantage now for him. Big on bishop c5 instead. After queen to c6, a bishop a6. That pawn on the a file is going to be a big pain in the behind for black. But after queen to d8, queen goes to c4, threatening the c7 pawn. Bishop g6. Bishop d3, hitting the rook. Now the rook's going to run out of spaces maybe. We'll have to see. Rook f4. Bishop takes. g3, I like that as well. That was a move I was looking at before. Then after the queen comes up, queen takes, rook, bishop takes, pawn takes, and white's just in the driver's seat, period. But after bishop takes g6, h takes, now you're cutting out the squares of the rook. Rook has to go to e4, but there's no light squared bishop to harass it anymore. a6. I think rook to d1 might have been better. Forcing the rook to take the knight on e3. But Vichy decided to try a6. Queen e8. Rook, double up the rooks. Bishop b6. Vichy's just tightening the screws here. Rook. King to g2. That move I didn't understand. Vichy's lead has slipped a little bit. It's less than a point now, and it was over 2. Has he let Topalov back into the game? Queen a4. b3. Rook d4. Looks like Topalov's getting back in the game. I thought Vichy had excellent winning chances. Excellent winning chances. Pawn takes. Rook takes. Knight c4. Rook takes a6. I think Vichy's let him back in the game. a5. Bishop d4. Rook e8. Check. King comes up. Here comes the other rook. Rook c3. And I think Topalov's giving it back to him. Knight d2. Rook to c2, hitting the knight. The knight goes to e4, but he wanted to go anyway. And now what to do, what to do. Believe it or not, computer likes g5. But he went f6. And that's the beginning of the end. If he had gone g5 instead, rook takes f7, rook takes. But after f6, h4, rook takes, rook, g5. Give you an idea, if rook had taken d5, check this out. Rook to f8, g5, h5, rook takes, knight takes, he has to, g6, rook checks, king h6, rook h8 mate. Pretty sweet, huh? After g5, h5, Now the screws are tightening. Rook takes. Has to. Knight takes. Rook goes after it. Now, here it comes. Check. There's no more checks. Yeah, he gets a couple of checks here. Pawn check. King takes. Pawn checks. Rook takes. And that's the end of that. That's where Veselin Topalov, former world champion, resigns. Give you an idea, after rook to h2, the other rook's going to come down. I mean, you're doomed. Absolutely doomed. There's nothing you can do. He has to go g6. So, Vichy draws first blood in the Candidates Final 2016. I picked Vichy to be in the bottom half. I think the bottom four, there's 8 players in total. I think the bottom four are going to pretty much bunched up. I like Nakamura on Caruana and Aronian in the top. Depending on which Karyakin shows up, we'll see where he ends up. Same with Aronian. If Aronian's in form, watch out. But anyway, there it is. First blood in World Candidates Final 2016. Hope you enjoyed it. Look for other games from this great tournament. And as I always say, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.